What's up, y'all? I'm going to cut the intro short because my special guest is here, and I know she's had a long couple of days, so I am not going to hold her up any longer than I have to. So I want to say welcome to everybody. Y'all know I normally say hi to everybody, but I'm going to just have to say hi, 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 hi. Shout out to all my members I see lit up in green in the chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to everybody. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, Pam, and I'll bring you on up. You ready? All right. So I want to thank you, and I want to welcome our special guest, Pam Esquire. Mods, can y'all please make sure y'all are dropping her link to her YouTube channel in the chat, because she could be doing this over on her channel, but she came over here to talk to us, and I appreciate it. I really, really do. How you doing?
I'm good. A little tired, voice raspy.
I know. I heard you earlier. I said, yeah, I know you are tired, but I appreciate it. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, I mean, you saw the title. Pam Esquire is live and in living color in the courtroom, and she also is an attorney. So she's not just giving us the gossip and giving us the salaciousness. She's going to give us a legal opinion on some things. And I watched your breakdown last night, and a lot of what you said, you know, and as far as your observations, again, you know, it's easy to get caught up in this trial is very salacious.
It's very
easy to get caught up in that.
Very ghetto. Okay.
Yes, yes, it is.
It is in real life. I'm not joking. This is reality. I wouldn't even believe it if I wasn't there.
Listen, I could not have predicted. I mean, I knew it was going to be a level of stuff with it, but I could not have predicted all the mess that we are seeing in this trial. It is very, you know, as somebody who did not go to law school, but I have friends who are attorneys and stuff, you know, you hear people say all the time, oh, it's not like Law and Order. It's not like Matlock. It's not like, but that is exactly what we are seeing in this trial.
This is more like, and I say that too. Like, I usually tell them, like, oh, how they do it in Law and Order, the ambush type of evidence and all that. Girl, we can't do that in real life. We got to disclose it. In this case, the prosecution bringing up stuff and that the defense is claiming they never got. It is straight up made for TV.
Child. They are dropping that y'all listen. I'm gonna ask, and y'all know I don't never do this over here. For me, but Pam, what is your Cash App?
It's the same as it's the Cash App Pam ESQ.
So okay. And El Teddy, who that's my brother from another mother. He loves you, and he's like, hi, Pam. So I want to make sure you know he's saying hi.
I'm on my phone. I can't see the chat.
No problem. Please, you guys, please make sure my mods, can y'all drop her Cash App, because again, you know, she's giving us some good stuff over here. So what was your impression? I've been trying to stay away from a lot of the reports today because I wanted the information to be fresh as you were giving it to me. So we know that Kelsey finished up her testimony. So I guess break it down however you want to break it down. What happened this morning, I guess, and
so Kelsey did testify today. First, they had a doctor to testify. He was the first one today, and he just testified, you know, the obvious, that she had bullet fragments and how the surgery was, and you know, things of that nature. Nothing real, you know, fantastic. Wasn't really much you can say about that. Went real quick. Kelsey gets back on. The prosecutor starts out reminding her, you only have use immunity. You don't have absolute immunity. That means if you lie on this here good stand, you're going to be charged. Like, you still can be charged for lying. So she kind of made it clear. Then the prosecutor was like, it's very interesting to me that the only information that you don't recall or don't remember is anything related to Tory.
Yeah, because she sure broke down that whole story about what happened at the party. She know who did what, who went where, who was in the pool, who was out of the pool. The fact that Meg left her slippers and they had to, or her slides, and they had to go back. The makeup artist was there. Like, she remembered all of that. She
Honey,
didn't miss a beat with none of that.
she said, I've been going through so much in my life and I just don't remember. It was so long ago. I was so drunk. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't recall. And the prosecutor was like, you just don't remember anything that has to do with Tory. And so she like went down. I guess she must have went over when she got home. The prosecutor, going over her notes probably was like, why does she only not remember the things that has to do with Tory?
Mm-hmm.
But child, the real stuff is, and I think the prosecutor did pretty well for her being a hostile witness and clearly turning on being probably one of their main witnesses.
Yes.
I think the prosecutor did very, very well. They kept their composure because clearly she's a liar. I mean, that's just so clear. But that cross from Tory Lanez defense attorney, I'm gonna have to give it to him. I had to even tell him when I seen him. I'm like, I don't give people that many props when it comes.
Ooh.
He came back. When he did the defense, I was like, well, how is he gonna handle Kelsey? So he started out again the same way, telling her about immunity. Do you know that if you lie, you can still go to jail? You don't have absolute immunity, which basically for your audience, she doesn't have an immunity that no matter what she says, she can't be prosecuted. Like it has to be related to these statements within this case and the evidence derived therefrom. So she can't just go and say, well, I think it was the neighbor down the street that really shot her, and just make up something out the sky.
Right.
Okay, that's not what that means. She didn't have absolute. So he started out with that. Then he went on to basically establish that her and Megan were beefing so tough because she found out that Megan had been sleeping with Tory Lanez and she didn't know that. So they were going back and forth. So what the defense was doing was basically trying to focus on getting away from any arguments between Meg and Tory. Like, let's just get away from that. Let's talk about you and Meg and how you were so mad at her that, of course, people are trying to their part of the defense is that you did it. Basically, ain't no probably. They basically
She don't see that they setting her up.
Girl setting her up real strong. But then she started out and she kind of was like, he said, the prosecutor continued on with her and said, well, you keep saying that you felt pressure to testify. You didn't want to testify. So then the defense attorney, says, well, have you ever talked to me? No. Have you ever talked to my associate? She's like, no. Have you ever talked to Tory since the incident? Whenever, a while ago, immediately afterwards, I guess they met up to get her belongings, the suitcases and all that stuff. And so she said, have you talked to Tory since then? No. Have you texted him? No. Have you had phone calls? No. Anybody from his team? No. You haven't talked to anybody, right? So when you say that somebody is pressuring you, who are you talking about? Well, I was subpoenaed to be here and I didn't want to be here. So are you saying the prosecution is the one that pressured you? So she said, and then this was the big thing of his cross to me was he mentioned that she did. Now, mind you, all this interview that the prosecutors are talking about, they didn't have any written interviews until September of 2022. That's when they got this written interview of Kelsey. This is what they keep referring to, that she keeps saying she lied about and nothing in it is true. She doesn't know who the shooter is. She just heard gunshots. She didn't see anything. She just assumed. She speculated. She don't really know if it's Tory. All of that. That's basically what her testimony is now. She's trying to say that's why she pled the fifth, despite what people think. She's saying because she lied in the September 22, interview. So basically,
that's what she's trying to say. She needs immunity from.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah.
So that's the part that was killing me.
Huh?
I said, because that's the part I was confused about. I was like, why does she need immunity?
Yeah. She said because in the 2022, she made a lot of lies. She said a lot of lies or whatever. And, perjury, I guess. She didn't want to come back and say what she felt was the truth and whatever. So Tory's attorney gets on there and was just like, but did you not talk to the prosecutor until after you learned that we were going to make you a suspect in this case? Once you found out it was gunpowder on you, once you found out that we were part of our defense was to say you were the shooter, then that's when you sit down and talk to the prosecutor and you basically make all this stuff up pointing to Tory. So they were painting the picture of you basically did this in order to avoid being prosecuted yourself.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And she almost agreed to it. Like, she almost was like, you know, I did know. She almost agreed, honestly, with the if she didn't outright say it, with the defense attorney say yes. Yeah, it was after I found out that you guys were gonna make me as as the suspect, or as the person that you say is kind of what we call the empty chair, that you got the wrong person here or whatever. The real person is still out there or whatnot. When you were making the person that was really did it, that's when I really did go to the prosecutor and sit down with them. But then the prosecutor came back, and I think they did a very, very good job dispelling that, saying that they had been trying to contact Kelsey and left messages since 2020 and wouldn't return phone calls. Or then when she finally did, she told them last year to talk to her attorney. So the prosecutor had been in contact with the attorney. So it really wasn't just, all of a sudden 3 months ago. So they did dispel that when they did their redirect, that that's not what it was. But baby, when that defense first kind of brought that out, it was like, oh, really? Like, you just went
Yeah, because I was like, what?
And then the infamous text message came out, not the text message, the Shade Room post, where somebody was talking about the incident, and they, in the comments, one of the commenters said, Kelsey is the one that shot Meg. And from Tory's account, because we know it's the blue check, he said that's not true. Kelsey isn't.
Yeah, they put that up yesterday.
So that so they put that up. So that seemed like, oh, well, how y'all gonna get over this? You know what I'm saying? So what happened is the prosecutor gets a detective to basically say he looks at social media and all of his detective work, and he knows that this is a verified account, and he looked back and seen the pictures with Tory, his family, and this and that, and he knows it has 11 million followers. This is him, and this came from his, his account. Right. But what the defense picked up was, you're saying it came from his account, but you don't even know who runs his account.
That's true.
Right?
That is true. A lot of celebrities do not run their own social media.
And that's pretty much what he asked him. He said, detective, you are aware that since you do this, that a lot of celebrities don't run their own accounts, right? He was like, yes, that's true. He said, I never said it was him that actually typed it. I just said it was his account. So he said, so you're telling me the prosecution got you to come on the stand to basically agree that this is a blue check account to Tory, but they can't really utilize you to even say that he was the one that even posted that message, or it wasn't somebody else, which was true. He was like, no, I don't have that information. So then the defense said, well, did you look at the IP address and see like where the IP address is? You have access to that, right? No, I didn't think that was necessary.
Oh my gosh.
So they almost did pretty well on combating that text message, to me.
Right.
Or that post, rather. Yep. So then we had the lady that did everybody keeps hearing about the gunpowder.
Right.
So there was gunpowder traces that were found on Kelsey and found on Tory, but not on the driver, because he's the only other person that was in the car.
Right.
So they
right.
on them or whatnot. So she kind of went through and really, to me, her testimony was like, okay, so what are you really saying? She couldn't really tell. Obviously, you can get gunshot powder, the residue. You can have it on surfaces. It can be you're close to somebody, it rubs off. It can be the shooter. It can be, and then what I thought was interesting is she was saying that it doesn't. Gunpowder on you, then can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because my phone was ringing. Somebody next to you may have more gunpowder on you than the actual shooter. So what was interesting is Tory's attorney, asked well, what's the quantity of who had the most gunpowder on them? But he didn't even let her finish the ask. So I'm assuming that when it came down to it, it probably was Kelsey probably had more gunpowder that was on her than.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because he said strike that question and moved on. But for you to ask that, and it made the prosecutor come back and say, the prosecutor had to come back and basically have her verify as an expert that quantity doesn't matter, it doesn't prove anything and all of that. So that leaves me to believe that it was more gunpowder on Kelsey.
Well, don't they check, and this might be a TV thing, but can't they check the hands to see if it looked like a person was handling a gun?
Yeah, it's not. They just check for residue.
Okay, so it's not that specific. Okay.
Even with Kelsey, she was in the back seat and she had Meg's leg on her. She was right next to her. So she would probably have it on her anyway. But I didn't see the prosecutor really. Yeah, there's some things I think the prosecutor definitely could have done better. I think the defense did pretty well, on their cross-examinations or whatnot today. I think their stuff just wasn't complete. Like the prosecutors, like how do you have somebody come up to talk about the Shade Room post, but then you really can't say nothing but the post was there? That's all that was testified to.
That's something that they could have just thrown that in the closing as a, and the defendant in his own, social media post said, because then, like you said, it kind of takes the punch out. But I ain't go to nobody's law school, but I'm just saying, it just seems to me like you're right, that's just a crazy thing to put out there. Now, I was talking to Simone yesterday, and she's not in the courtroom, but just based on the reports, she predicted that the prosecution was going to do exactly what they did today, which was ask the judge if they could play Kelsey's interview. And so they're going to play her interview tomorrow.
They're going to do it morning. Yeah.
Now, do you think that's going to have any impact at this point?
The reasoning for that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but the reasoning for that is because really the defense opened the door when they started talking about her interview, and you basically was coerced. Now the prosecution saying you're basically challenging our integrity, and that we've done tried to put words in her mouth. So we need everyone to hear how this interview went, that we never told her she was a suspect. We never told her this and this and that. So he opened the door for that, because he was pretty much insinuating like you told them what they wanted to hear because you knew it's going to be you if you don't.
Right.
So the judge did at the close, when we were leaving out the courtroom, he basically said, yes, we're going to play. I'm going to allow them to play the interview in the morning.
So do you think it'll have any impact? I mean, with everything else that's going on with Kelsey at this point, do you think it'll be any impact?
Child, they all lying. I'm like, I ain't
never. They are.
So many hip hop lies in my life.
Because listen, they are lying. And even when this was going on, I kept saying, I wish Meg would just shut up. Why? And I understand the frustration that, especially because I would never understand how this narrative got flipped, that she became the bad guy. Like, is she a bad friend? I mean, based on the testimony, she's probably not that good of a friend. But at the end of the day, and the one thing I will say that I think was dispelled, which I can appreciate, is they testified that there were actual bullet fragments in her foot. So we can please stop saying that the girl didn't get shot. We can please throw that. And she still has fragments even to this day. She still has fragments in her foot, right? Yeah. Yeah.
them in the right and the left, and they said they had to remove them because it would have caused pain if they didn't. But there's smaller fragments that were shown that they can't remove because they're so microscopic. They had to
They're
leave them.
so small.
It would
Yeah.
have been worse to
What's up,
try.
ma'am? Yeah, that's just and I never understood this. I mean, the misogyny of it, I get, but the way that this flipped, and so I understand her frustration and wanting to clear her name or whatever, but I really wish she had just been quiet. I really, really, really wish she had just shut up.
Because
Um,
apparently she went to the police 4 days later and nobody knew about it, telling that it was Tory. Because there's voice messages, I'm sure you heard, that came out yesterday of Tory apologizing to Kelsey over and over again for everything that happened. So Tory had no idea that she had even went to the police. That's probably when he first came out. Remember, he was kind of saying they was still good and all this and this and that or
yeah.
whatnot. But part of that was probably because he didn't know that Meg had went to the police and told basically what happened 4 days later. So she could have just left it like that. You know what I'm saying? And just stayed out the media.
She really could have left it like that.
But what was
And then,
interesting
because like,
was that when Meg was on the stand, there was conversation where she said the only reason why she came out was because Tory was bringing stuff to the media and she felt like she had to defend herself. But what the defense was able to do is be like, hey, can you show me where he said something? Did he say something on Instagram? Did he say something on Twitter? And she really couldn't even point to where Tory allegedly is the one that brought this to the public.
right? Because honestly, it happened so long ago. I don't remember who said what first. To be honest with you, I really don't anymore. And even after this trial, I still don't. Child, like you said, so many lies swimming around. They all lying about something. I do you. I don't. I don't know if I want to ask you this because I don't want to put you in a. You don't have to answer this if you're not comfortable answering this. But based on the testimony that you heard in the courtroom, do you feel like Kelsey's testimony is compromised?
I don't believe nothing that she says, but I
Okay.
honestly, but it's more coming across, and this was what the defense was trying to get with by letting her know there was no conversation, nobody offered you nothing. The only people really that's your problem is really with the prosecutor, it ain't even with us. Is because she comes across like you're scared somebody might be threatening your life or some money, you got some money. Like that's how she's coming across to her. Because who just reneges, like totally does a whole complete change around.
Like I said, that's some old Law and Order stuff right there. Like I ain't never seen, and I mean, I don't just sit and hang out in courtrooms, but I ain't never heard of that. Is just crazy. Like this is a script.
I've seen it before, and that's why I said I think the prosecutors did well, because she's what's considered a hostile witness, where
Right.
she becomes she's your witness at first, but then once she starts taking back, their prosecutors are used to people that change their mind because it's family, friends, or whatever, and they don't want
Mm-hmm.
to do it anymore. So you do have to start leading them like cross-examination, like usually what your opponent does, just to
Mm-hmm.
get them to give out their testimony. She just, nothing about her is credible, but I would lean more towards she told the truth in September and something didn't happen where now she doesn't want to tell the truth. And what was interesting too is the defense had brought up Rock Nation. Okay. So I don't know if you heard this already, but the defense brought up Rock Nation and said, do you know what label Meg is on? She said, yes, Rock Nation. She said, do you know what label Tory's on? She said, no. And she said, well, are you aware that Rock Nation wanted to sign Tory and he decided not to? Because mind you, they all met at a Rock Nation
Yeah,
brunch.
they met at a Rock Nation event, right?
So apparently Rock Nation, so it kind of made it seem like Meg was trying to hook up, because she was the one that hooked Kelsey up
Kelsey up.
with Tory in the first place, according to her. So because she was the one that hooked her up, it almost sounds like it was a whole collaboration. Like one of y'all need to mix with this dude so he can be a part of Rock Nation or something. That's how I was looking at it. So then you turn
Oh
around,
Lord.
you're not
Mm-hmm.
even you won't even sign with them or whatever. And that, like, basically Megan's camp is upset that he didn't sign with Rock Nation. So that was something that was like that came out as well.
This
And,
a whole mess and a half.
but girl, what really made me gasp, because I had to put my mask on because my facial expression, I know they like, what? I was like, huh? These doggone housewives ain't got nothing on this case, son. But yeah, he says, Kelsey, did you have immunity? So whatever you say as it pertains to this case, basically these statements you made, you're gonna be fine as long as you tell the truth. Did you shoot? Did you almost insinuated the whole struggle thing?
Right.
The defense attorney did a hypothetical. The hypothetical
Oh.
was talking to the lady with the gun residue, the expert, and said, could it be on both hands? Because one person is about to shoot somebody with the gun, and the other person walks up and try to take the gun from the other person. Could they both have gunpowder on their hands? That was one of the hypos he gave the expert. So
Mm.
but anyway, going back, he tells Kelsey, he says, so you can basically say if you shot her and you're not gonna get in trouble because that's what they gave you immunity or whatever. She said, no, I didn't shoot her. He said, what if I tell you a witness said that they saw you shoot her? Everybody was like, what? All you heard was objection, objection, objection. The judge like, sustain, sustain.
Oh my goodness.
So that ain't
they
go nowhere.
so basically, so basically, and this is me. This not Pam. This is really B. I don't want to put nothing on Pam because we got to protect the law degree. This ain't Pam. This really B. So what I'm in my mind, either A, her hatred towards Meg is outruling her common damn sense that they are setting you up to be an alleged murderess or shooter.
Shooter, yeah.
Or B, you are compromised, whether it's through threats or through payola. That's the only thing I can think of because it's no way in the world that. Here's the thing: if we were in a room full of people, I might even play this game with y'all. But it's only two options: him or me. They have eliminated the driver, and Meg didn't shoot herself. There are two options.
The driver
Did
had
she not
zero gun
realize?
residue. The driver had zero gun residue.
Oh my!
Zero.
Does she not realize that the more she says he didn't do it, the more the fingers point at her? Ma'am, what is wrong with you?
Hey, it's working out for the defense. So the
It's working out very
prosecution,
well.
but and then that was part of it too. I think that's what the prosecution is trying to bring out, that you just can't stand her so much because you felt like she betrayed you. And the defense brought out that this wasn't the first. See, the prosecution is doing it as if you're lying because you're so pissed off at Meg, and then she kind of threw you away and sent you back to Texas when you were supposed to stay in California with her, and then cut her off. Like she just ghosted her. Apparently, she stopped talking to Kelsey. So she was like, so that's how the prosecution's like, you're just pissed. That's why you're bringing this up. The defense is using it as you're so mad at her that you would shoot her. You see what I'm saying? How that whole
Yeah.
is being used on both sides. So she basically was like, it was brought out because she said, the defense said, and I'm not going to name all of the names, but you started naming in the argument other people that she had slept with. That was somebody you messed with first. And she said, well, I brought up one other person. So basically, she's done this before.
And that's why I said it doesn't sound like Meg is a good friend.
Right.
It definitely doesn't sound like she's a good, because I wonder why she stopped speaking to Kelsey. Girl, you did Kelsey wrong. Why you mad at her?
Well, allegedly it's because when Meg did her statement saying that she got shot and all of that, and people were blaming Kelsey felt like, according to her September 2022 interview, she all saying half of it's a lie now, but according to that interview, she said that she felt like Meg didn't protect her. And then Meg was pissed off at Kelsey because she felt like when Kelsey did her statement on Instagram, which they showed today, she felt like she wasn't protecting her.
These drunken fools. Just I mean, sometimes I forget how young these people are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
And
these drunken
part of it
fools.
too, I think for me, I'm like, Pam, they are kids. I probably got kids their age. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I kind of
Yes.
they are like, yeah.
Oh gosh. All right. So because I'm not gonna hold you long because it's been 30 minutes, and like I said, I know you've got long days, you jet lagged and all kinds of stuff, and you
It's
up
3 hours.
early and
I said, oh, I can't wait. I said it's only 6 o'clock here. I gotta try to get on here before 5:30 and be reasonable. I was
I
on it like
appreciate you.
last night.
I do. I really do. I appreciate, and my people appreciate you. They in the chat appreciating you. Her cash app is up, y'all. If y'all appreciate her, buy her lunch tomorrow. You know they got a lunch break. Y'all going to
Yes,
send her
God
some lunch
bless
money, okay?
Celia. I
And I don't know
appreciate
if Pam drink or not, but send her some money for a cocktail or a mocktail or something after this craziness that she got to sit through, so she can come and tell us about it, okay?
it. And then
And it's 145 people in the chat. Please hit that like button, okay?
the crazy part is it's almost addictive. I was only gonna like watch for a couple of days, and I was going. Then I was like, no, I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna go tomorrow. Then it was like
They got you.
Saturday. I'm supposed to go back home. I'm like, I'm gonna change my flight.
Child, they got you. They got you hooked. They got you hooked. And look, let me tell you, they had my dumb butt this morning. They had me all day long. I'm at work trying to do my job and listen to the daggone young thug case.
Yes.
He was in court today.
Yep. I was looking at
They
that
had me.
streaming. That was streaming. I saw that on one of the
Yeah.
breaks. And Pam, you doing too much getting in all these rich people's business.
Listen, I just wanted to see because after yesterday with Gunna taking that plea, his young thugs trial wasn't supposed to start till January. So when they called this hearing, I said, "Oh, what's going on?" But child, they was child. That was about some illegal search and seizure, fruit of the poisonous tree, and they was
Motion.
in there arguing. Child,
It was probably a suppression
the
hearing.
most to suppress. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. Get that stuff.
Pam, I appreciate your time, and so tomorrow we're gonna hear the tape. Personally, if I were on the jury, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know how I feel outside of sitting in the jury. I feel like Tory did it. That's my opinion. But sitting inside the jury, the question is, has the defense given us reasonable doubt? And I'm gonna be honest.
That's all they have to prove. Like, unless
All
they
they
just,
have to prove.
because if they think she's so incredible that she would lie about this, then she would lie about that.
There you
Then
go.
that would be their reasonable doubt. I'm curious to see if Tory's gonna testify. At first, I was like, I think he gotta testify. But I don't know now at this point.
I'm about to say, if I again, my degree is from Law and Order University, but I don't think I would put him on the stand. I don't think he has to testify.
I would be concerned. I mean, maybe he's a credible person. I don't know. I think that's usually for most of us. Like when I did defense, it's a last minute decision, unless it's a self defense case. All my self defense cases, you had to have them testify as to how
Yeah.
life and all of that type stuff. Like when it's a murder and it's self defense because of murder. But yeah, other than that, I couldn't even tell you not one time outside of them cases that I had them testify because it's not the defense's burden, it's the prosecution. So if you didn't have your stuff tight, the defense attorney did a great job poking holes in your investigator about how you did it, about Kelsey basically almost doing it to protect herself or y'all badgering her to try to just bolster your case and using her as the person to bolster your case. I mean, the gunshot residue lady, she just explained to us science. She ain't really say nothing. She couldn't tell. She basically said she couldn't tell who the shooter was based on what she had. So
Child, it's a mess. So what witness do you? I mean, if you know what witnesses other than Tory, which is a big question mark, what other witnesses do they have? Does the defense have?
well, when he blurted out that there's a witness saying that they saw her shooter, I don't know if there really is one or not. That's what I was wondering about. I'm like,
I don't think. I don't know if about that because I know they said there was a witness that saw them fighting, that saw Meg and Kelsey fighting.
Yeah,
But
and
shoot, I don't know.
thing that you bring that up that came out because Kelsey Meg kind of said wasn't no arguments, wasn't no fighting or altercations at all between her and Kelsey. Well, when they Kelsey has had almost 3 stories as to how she had the bruising because at one point he said you bees and hoes get up out of my car, and that's how they got out the car. Then the second time she said he was kicking her and he hurt her neck and back and dragged her and pulled her by her hair out the car. So that's how they got out the car. Then by the time the defense attorney came up, he basically somehow established like you have immunity. Didn't you and Meg have a fight? She's like, no. Like, didn't you and Meg have a fight? We were arguing outside the car, and he kind of was picking at it enough where she gave enough. She tried to say, I mean, we might have like bumped each other, but I was so drunk, I don't even remember.
These drunken fools. I can't, Pam. I can't.
I'm telling you, I was not there. I wouldn't even believe it. It's such a circus that I was like, if I was a juror, what would I let this man go? I just might. If I went by the jury instructions, and we know she got shot, and she ain't shoot herself. So we do know that. And I think they would have been better. I think the prosecution just didn't even know that she was going to come like she did, meaning Kelsey, because they probably done this by circumstantial evidence. You already know that the gun residue was not nowhere on Quan, so that take him away. We all know Meg ain't shoot herself, so that take him away. And then it would have just been between those two, but she got like the text message where immediately after the incident, she texts Meg's bodyguard and said, help, 911, Tory shot
Meg, yeah.
And
I'm sure it never occurred to the prosecutors that she would indicate that it's so fact though she would indicate herself.
That's because she said I was in a panic, but really, like, that's an excited utterance. Like if she would have said, she said blah 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 blah, they would have admitted it and it wouldn't have been hearsay because it's called an excited utterance. People, when their adrenaline is high, they tend to tell the truth or whatever is right there.
Yeah.
But in 5 minutes, you're texting to tell that person allegedly she messaged her mom. First, she tried to call somebody else. Like, you're trying to call all these people. And I think what bothered her is once she got to the hospital. Now, what she kept saying is when they were like, did Meg get shot in her foot? Well, all I know is her team kept telling me she got hurt by glass. That's what she kept saying today. She wouldn't even acknowledge that the girl got shot in her foot.
Well, I saw a quote yesterday where she wouldn't even agree that the girl was bleeding.
She would.
It's like she wouldn't even agree that the girl was bleeding. I'm like, now come on, now you're just being ridiculous.
And
now you're just being ridiculous.
A picture of herself at the police station with blood on her legs.
It was blood on the scene. I mean, girl, now you're just being ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm telling you, with the defense, it went a lot smoother. It was a lot of no. I mean, she knew about Tory flirting with Kylie. She knew they was in a pool together. She knew where EJ was, that his car was they both of their cars were there and they left at the same time. She knew a whole lot of stuff. That's why I said the prosecutor came back after that cross and said, so yesterday you didn't remember this. Today you don't remember this. You don't know if she got shot. Everything's vague and foggy, correct? You're in a whole nother zone, correct? You just can't think right because your daughter's sick or whoever your kid is sick, correct? So you just don't feel like being here and you just don't remember, correct? But suddenly when the defense comes up, your memory just comes up and you remember everything. When Tory's attorney came up. That's how I would have got them, because it would have went in the eyes of the jury and went towards that there's some type of way that she's trying to protect him.
Because I think hopefully a blind man could see that. But again, that doesn't mean that the defense isn't doing a good job of establishing reasonable doubt. They just are. As much as I hate to admit it, because I believe that boy did it. I believe he did it. But if you, like you said, if I'm gonna just pay attention to the jury instructions and not my emotion.
Yeah, I think even though you know in your heart, you probably like, I had to follow the law. Like, I have to follow. That's what I'm supposed to do. Like I said, I think the prosecution did okay. They could be better. I thought they did better with Meg than the defense. To me, I didn't. The defense's cross to me was kind of like, when it came to Meg. I think because one of the comments the defense said yesterday, he mentioned, and if you saw my video, you'll see that I talked about it. He basically said, "You're saying that affected your career, right?" Yes, it has, and that people don't want to deal with you anymore because of this whole incident, right? Yes, because they said you're a liar, right? Yes, but isn't it true that since this incident, your career, this has actually helped your career? She said, "Getting shot helped my career." I was like, yeah, that was kind of. She's still a victim. We know she got shot. This is
right. But what they probably should have done was listed the things that's happened since then. Just opening up that blanket statement, like you said, you left that. But if you said, well, you got this contract and you got this
I
endorsement
saw you
and
on a
you did
commercial
this.
with Maybelline,
Right,
right?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You got this endorsement, and you were on this TV show. You were hosting SNL. You like there were things that they could have said that would have been like, oh well, damn, that happened. That happened. I mean, it's been 2 years, and a lot has happened in 2 years. But for them to just open it up and be like, well, you this helped your career. Yeah, I would have said this. Getting shot help me, but she also could have been more specific in what she said because I think what she means by a lot of, I mean, she could talk about the fact that Drake made a whole song calling her a liar, that the baby made a whole song calling her a liar. Like she could have brought that kind of stuff up. I mean, it was both of them could have been, but hindsight is always 2020, child.
Well, what did happen is apparently there's a I Hate Megan Stallion page. So they did put that up. Girl, them people are ruthless and brutal. They were on there saying they should have. I wish he would have did that. Whoever it was would have did it in your head instead of your feet. I hope Allah.
That's crazy.
I hope Allah tortures you like like you've tortured Tory Lanez. I mean, child.
Wow.
Put them up there like how she's saying she's been attacked, every day since this incident.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's why she felt the need to speak. But like I said, I wish she had just, because I understand why she felt the need to speak. You know what I mean? When you want to receive into that, it's hard to just sit back and not say anything. But the flip side is, girl.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But you my co-counsel now because you done pulled it all out. I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe that was your calling and that's what you should have been doing. You like, no, they should have did it like this. Girl, you sound
girl.
Girl,
I told you, it ain't a Law and Order episode I ain't never seen, girl.
Well, they teaching you something, shoot.
Girl. Woo! Well, I tell you what, we are going to make sure that we I hope everybody is subscribed to Pam because again, Pam be breaking things down. She's going to be there tomorrow, so I look forward to hearing your debrief tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to be on your channel and give us a little debrief tomorrow. Also the Bishop Whitehead breakdown. Huh?
I have more on Bishop Whitehead too, but I'll come tomorrow if you want me to come back. Come back on tomorrow.
Oh, let me see. What's tomorrow? Friday? Yeah, girl, I ain't doing nothing tomorrow but get my hair done. You come on back tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. As far as I know, I'll be here after I get my hair. I need to get my nails done too, but I don't have the energy to do both tomorrow. One have to wait till this weekend. But because I've been so busy, child. These things, I'm surprised they ain't grown off my hand yet. I've been running around. But yeah, girl, if you want to come back tomorrow, you're welcome.
Girl, I said this California thickness. I had a nice little press when I got here, and that mug was like, and then it's cold here, just like Michigan. I'm like, what is this? It's just the wet. My hair ain't used to it. I said,
global warming, child. Global warming. Just get right with the Lord. That's all I got. Just get right with the Lord. Just get right with the Lord. Because I ain't listen. Child. That's all I can say about that one. Just get right, because this global warming ain't no joke. I pulled out my big winter coat today. We had freezing rain here today, and it's been raining, and they talking about flurries and child. I can't. It is what it is. So
So
y'all make sure that once again, so Pam says she's gonna come back tomorrow, y'all. So Pam, so y'all meet back at this place tomorrow. We're gonna be here tomorrow. Y'all make sure that y'all take care. That's right, Lauren. Get her some DoorDash, some Starbucks. Gone. Get her
yeah,
some
I'm
Tim.
about
Somebody said Tim Hortons for breakfast. That must be a LA spot. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Y'all get her. Y'all take care of her, okay?
I appreciate anything. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for thinking of
But
me.
I appreciate you coming. I do. I really do. And I appreciate your insight because, again, you have your own YouTube channel. So you saving this content for your people. And I appreciate it. And we're definitely going to be ready. Wait till you get back home and get yourself settled so we can get all of the Bishop Whitehead updates too. Because I don't know, something about that. Something about that man just tickles me. I ain't lying. Just something about that man that just tickles me, girl. Oh my gosh, he is terrible.
I have to take a break from him, but he literally is the person that always got something going on. When I say
Did
always,
y'all see? I gotta show y'all something. Now, look, now this is the portion of the program where I'm just gonna be clowning for a second. Y'all just give me 2 seconds to clown this man. Let me show y'all what this man had on today. It's something about it's something, and he just be thinking he looking good, y'all. That's the thing. It's the fact that he think he looking good. Now, you know he always clout chasing. So he always got post him with some sort of celebrity. So this is a picture with him and Common. But we don't even care about Common. I need y'all to just see this outfit. Child, he got the Gucci jacket and them jeans. Those supposed to be Gucci jeans, child. Now I don't know what Gucci showroom those are in, but do y'all see this mess this man had on today? What is this? What in the
straight
y'all?
to
I can't.
Cash App. I appreciate it. I see you.
Oh, thank y'all. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and log off too, cause I'm gonna try to I'm logging off because I'm tired. I'm tired, okay? But but thank you for being here again. Thank y'all, everybody in the chat. If I did, y'all know I normally speak to everybody, but I saw y'all coming in. Thank everybody who was here. Thank all my members. Thank my mods. I appreciate y'all dropping that information, dropping those links. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Okay, y'all? Mwah. I'm out. I'm hitting the button. Oh, Lord have mercy. That man cracks me up. He is a mess.